What's good, everyone? It's Tee Becoate, and today we're back with another Diamond Cut Media interview. And today we have a special guest with us, 2300.
My name's 23, and I'm feeling in love with a 304. Shorty the leg of my life, will no hope for just this one. Yeah. Shorty come be my wife, with all my bros to cuff this one.
Good, my guy.
Sir, how you doing?
Good, man. Chilling. This is actually my second time meeting you.
Yes, sir.
I met you in the studio maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Shout out my guy Banks. Yeah, you were just producing it, right?
Yeah, definitely was just producing at that point.
Right. So you wasn't even like recording as an artist then.
No, I mean I had a bunch of songs, but like they were never for public consumption. So.
Okay, bet. So let's take it back to that time. So this was what? That was
2022, 2023, like 2022, yeah.
Early 2022.
Yeah, yep.
And I met you in the studio. It was cooking up beats. So around that time, what were you doing? Like, what was 2300 doing in 2022?
2022. What was I doing? It was a long time ago.
Right, but I saw you.
Really just like just getting the opportunities out. At that point, I was kind of new. I'm still new, like industry-wise, but definitely trying to get my foot in, sending beats out, just working day in, day out. Just finding new opportunities for myself as like a musician. You know what I mean? Just finding new vibes to try to work on, for lack of a better term. So at that point, 2022, yeah, that's what I definitely was doing.
Okay, dope. And I heard Kanye West is famously known for making one beat a day in the summer. What was your approach?
That's funny because in 2019, actually, when I first started producing, I took the Kanye approach. I wanted to do 100 beats.
Oh yeah, he said 100 beats a summer.
Yeah, he did 100 beats a summer, but like 5 beats a day.
5 beats a day or some shit, yeah.
A few years. But I basically was, at the end of my semester in college, I wanted to make 100 beats, no samples, everything, all my creative output. And I ended up doing it in about like 8 weeks at that point. So probably like mid-July, from like the end of May to like mid-July, early August, I had finished. And that definitely shaped my creativity. And also, there's absolutely nothing wrong with sampling or anything, but it definitely just gave me another outlet, just in case I run out of things to sample, or if I'm having beat block, I could definitely try to make something from scratch. And, you know, it helped shape who I am today as a producer.
Okay, and as a producer, you know, how do you guys view sampling versus non-sampling? Because you said you wanted to do 100 beats without samples, so like producers, do you look at sampling a certain way? Is it easier?
Absolutely not. I think the essence of hip-hop is sampling. Like, it started off with break beat. You know what I mean? Like, they were rapping on disco beats. So before there was any like musicianship, there were DJs that were the original producers. So I don't look at sampling any type of way. I don't look at anybody sampling anything any type of way. I just feel like sometimes when you're in the studio and you're with certain producers, like I look at people like real killers. You know what I mean? Like I treat it like it's a Continental. Like if you ever watch John Wick, you know, you're in a Continental. And sometimes if you with a real killer and they show you up with some musicianship, you kind of gotta fend for yourself. So I look at it that type of way, just in case somebody backs out a keyboard or nobody has any samples or any loops. Like you gotta do something. So sometimes I'll be the guy to try my hand at something.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
And how long have you been making beats or producing?
It's been 6.5. I started, if I can remember the exact date, I think it was December 14th or 5th or 16th of 2017 up until today. It's about 6.5 years. But publicly, I started being known as a producer from 2019 to now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What were your first placements? Because I saw one on your gram. I saw you did Pop Smoke, Sleepy Hollow. I think I seen.
Sleepy Hollow was definitely the first.
First?
The first placement.
Shout out to Sleepy because he was my first interview ever.
Yeah, shout out
Sleepy and Chef. My first interview
one of the
ever.
first artists I actually like pulled up on. I saw him at the mall and was like, yo, I got some beats, and you know they were very receptive of it. So ironically enough, they ended up getting on something that they found on YouTube from me. So then everything worked out. So forever indebted to them.
All right, shout out to them. And then I also saw you did work with the late great Pop Smoke.
Yes, rest in peace to Pop Smoke.
On the Faith album, right?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. That was his posthumous album. That's the last body of work we got from him. So how did it feel to work with a New York legend?
It felt great. You know what I mean? It felt great. Shout out to Free. Shout out to LJ for creating that situation for me. Shout out to Ryan Press as well. And definitely that was definitely a fun summer. because that was one of the songs that was kind of like buzzing around the same time as I kept tracking like the charts at that time. That was my first time ever like seeing anything with my work on it on the Billboard. So it was like that song, it was Gallus, it was.
Oh, you produced Gallus too?
No, I'm saying like
sorry.
it was, you know, on the radio, like when
yeah.
running with like Gallus and what other song was there? That Blast song, Chosen. So that definitely was a good summer. It was definitely a good run, and it made me realize that my sound can be used for people other than me, and it definitely can have an impact.
Right. How did it feel? Like you just said, you seen a song that you produced charting.
Man, I'm thankful for the opportunity. You know what I mean? I'm thankful. That project went #1, so it's definitely a good stat to have. You know what I mean? It helped solidify myself as a producer. Like a lot of people, like, yo, you work with Pop Smoke. That's amazing. It's hard. He's a legend. And then it just, you know, I'm very blessed for that. I'm very thankful.
Okay, dope. So let's talk about. I also saw. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. I always say it wrong. Is it Chloe Bailey?
Chloe Bailey.
Chloe Bailey. You produced for her as well, right?
Yeah.
She's huge. So
that's another one of my favorite records.
Right. And what song was that you produced for her?
Called Body Do.
Body Do. Okay.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Once again, Free and LJ, my management, they helped get me right. I definitely spoke to Chloe. I got a chance to speak with her.
Oh, nice.
And that was, it's funny enough, that was just a beat that I made in like 15 minutes. I wasn't really thinking anything of it, but it helped showcase, you know, just a different side of me. I didn't really think that I would get that type of poppy girl record. It was definitely a favorited record on her project. So that means a lot to me. It definitely, I don't know, I like working with women artists. I like working with women R&B artists. So I'm thankful that was my first opportunity, and she's a really good artist. So
yeah, for sure. Shout out to her.
Yeah,
Chloe Bailey. We're on the subject of producing. Who would you say your top 5 producers from NYC, or as us New York City natives call it, the towns? Who's your top 5 producers? You can include yourself.
Wait, right now?
Right now, like, cause you know New York, we got a wave. Is either the drill or it's the sexy drill.
Oh, right.
So who you got in that top 5 producers?
Okay, let's take me out of it. Let's take me out of it.
You can include yourself though.
Nah, let me be objective. Well, Cash is having a run it right now.
Cash.
In no particular order.
No particular order. Cash got to be in there.
Cash is gonna run it right now. I really have to think. There's so many New York producers, right? Like there's so many of them doing a really good job, but in really different fields. You know what I mean? Like Tee Becoate is doing really good right now.
Shout out to Dizzy.
You know, the guys at all records are doing really well, like A-Loud and Emerald, Eli, what the fuck? Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They're doing good right now. But there's also, you know, guys like Smack, that's also from New York. He's doing pretty well. It's so many. I don't think I can subject it to 5.
Right.
Simi, Show, there's Ja, there's Golly.
It's a lot.
Power Tribe. How can I forget
Power Tribe?
You know what I mean? They're killing it. FB is killing it right now. Just so many. I'm really like, you know, happy that the city. Layla is also a producer. I think she's from New York, right? She's killing it.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Layla. Yeah,
she makes her own.
That's actually Most Def daughter. Everyone.
That's the rumor saying.
Finding out.
No,
she kind of looks like him. I see someone's like, once you see she looks like Most Def, you'll never unsee it, and that's kind of how I see it.
I have no idea, but I don't think even so, like that doesn't even take away from, you know.
Yeah.
Great,
Shout out to her though.
Yeah, for sure. She's killing it right now. Who am I missing? There's a whole bunch. Like that's it's killing it. It's a whole. Like I can name a
whole lot. Shout out to New York, man.
Yeah, shout out to New York.
They were trying to say we don't got no sound. I'm biased, so.
No, you know it's crazy. I think that there's a resurgence happening in New York. Like everybody wants to come to New York and work, whether it's like from the sexy sound or like the drill sound. Like it used to. New York was losing it as a music city, but now I think we're getting it back. Everybody wants to come to New York, so we definitely have a sound. You know what I mean? We definitely be taking over.
Well, yeah, haters that say New York City don't have a sound, pay attention. All right, so let's get into your early life a little bit. Tell the people about 2300, you know, where you're from, growing up, how'd you get into music? Like, take us through that.
Well, I'm from Queens. I'm from Lawton.
Okay.
And
shout out to Queens. I just moved to Queens.
It's the inner city. How'd I get into music? It's a really, really long story with so many layers, but it started with you know, in high school. Well, even before that, like church and drums, but that don't really count because I didn't know what I was doing.
Now that counts. That's like the foundation of it.
Yeah, but I always had a love for music, first and foremost. I always had a love for music. Always had a love for all things music outside of the actual artistry, like the videos, the production. Like 106 in Park was, you know, the thing that I grew up watching. You know, my first shout out to my older brother, my older sister. Some of my first words were bling bling. You know what I mean?
Cash money.
That's kind of music related. So fast forward bunch of years later, high school. My dad is like a family DJ on my dad's side. So he had a whole bunch of equipment, but he didn't really know how to use it. And in the midst of that, like I was like aux guy in my friend group. So everybody would pass me the aux. Cause I know like the vibes to play. And I sort of kind of like the A&R at the time. Like I'd be like, yo, listen to this guy. He about to blow. And next thing you know, like he's Bryson Tiller. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. So after that, I started realizing, let me try my hand at playing music in the lunchroom in high school. So I tried that, and I turned the lunchroom into a party one time. I swear to God, and I was playing stuff like I went from like March Madness. This was like 2016, so it was like March Madness, a whole bunch of throwbacks. Like I was just thinking, you know what I mean, on the fly. And I decided to take that and turn it into DJing with the equipment that my dad had that didn't know how to use. So I taught myself in his basement, you know, how to mix, and I don't really know how to scratch, but I really knew like how to, you know, get a party started and really keep the party going. So I took that, went to college. I went to Hobart William Smith College. It's a small liberal arts school upstate. And as I was being an Africana Studies major and a political science minor, I was also a DJ, like a part-time DJ. I was a campus DJ, so I was DJing all the parties, all the club events. You know, that was my way of making bread. At some point, I got tired of playing the music that people like, and I wanted to make the joints that people like. So in the midst of me DJing, like I would, after class, I would go home or go to my dorm and like teach myself how to make beats. I bought myself this $45 beat pad I never used. And then, yeah, so I also had friends that knew how to crack software. So they was getting me right and all that. And then eventually I just took the 2018 summer and up to 2019 summer, just studying the craft, like learning from the greats, paying attention to certain trends and how they come and how they go, and getting ahead of the curve and stuff like that. And then from like June of 2019 until today is when I officially decided like I'm gonna be 2-3, I'm gonna be 2300 producing. And then I've been blessed with many opportunities from there. And, you know, here we are.
Right. And now fast forward to now, let's go to 2023.
Right.
You dropped your project 11 p.m.
Right.
And it's a fire project. It's like early, I guess you could say early sexy drill. Would you say you were early on the sexy drill?
No.
No?
No. And I cringe at that project now, ironically.
I heard that
a lot of artists do that. Yeah.
During the release, you were like, this is your last project you're releasing.
Yeah, that was
at the time.
Yeah, that was the plan. Cause I never wanted to be an artist. I never wanted to be a rapper. No disrespect to artists and rappers. I just didn't think I had the ego for it. I didn't think I had the, you know what I mean, like the stage presence and so on and so forth. I just really thought I was a guy that's better off behind the scenes. But I feel like I make good pregame music. So I was like, okay, I have this, you know, I have these compilations of songs, and let me put it out and see what the world thinks about it. Maybe it'd be my only body of work. Hopefully that would do something to change the trajectory of where I'm going. That's how much, that's how much faith I had in it at the time. And you know, it dropped, and a lot of people were receptive to it, but it didn't really do what I wanted it to do. And but I enjoyed the process, you know what I mean? I learned a lot about like how music works, how music distribution works, you know what I mean? Like I'm sitting at home doing it the old school way, printing out CDs, pasting CDs, burning CDs, you know what I mean? Doing a lot of my own guerrilla marketing and so on and so forth. And having a release, having a bunch of people around and all of that, I really learned that, how to do it manually, and I understood like how people can circumvent the industry, but also how the industry makes sense for people that really just want to make music and just have music out. But it was definitely a great process. I got it tatted on me.
11 p.m.
Yeah.
What's important about 11 p.m. to you?
It's 2300 in the military time. So
I want to ask you, why 2300?
So
Is that your favorite year?
No, I mean, I hope so. I hope I get to that point.
Right.
But
like 300 years old or some shit.
So I was a big basketball fan, and 23 really is like the GOAT number, whether it's Braun, whether it's Jordan, however you look at it. So I'm looking at that point in high school, I used to go by DJ Yoga Fire, right? Whatever. But in high school, I was like, all right, whatever I do in my life, no matter what it is, I want to be 100 times better than what the 2-3 is in, the basketball sport. So like 100 times better than the best. So then when you do the math, it's like 2,300. And then it just kind of stuck. Just little things like when I used to write it in my notebooks or in class in college, like I started to realize, like, I don't know, it's probably I'm corny, but like the 2-3 kind of was like, it looked similar to how I wrote it, looked similar to my initials. So I'm like, all right, that kind of sticks. And also it's because like if I were to ever drop music, like when you put me on your, like when you look up the artist, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, like I gotta be at the top or at the very bottom, however you look, but like the numbers come first. So I always gonna be on top. So that's where it started. I didn't think it was gonna stick. I didn't think people would end up, like now more people call me 2-3 than call me my actual name. Some people call me 2, some people call me 3, but here we are. You know what I mean?
That's fire.
Yeah.
And that's how you have a breakdown for a name. People be having names like, oh, why'd you do that name? Like, I don't know, I like it. Nah, you feel me? You have a meaning to your name. That's fire.
Yeah.
All right, so how'd you get to the point from 11 p.m. project to, because I had you on the gram for a minute, like we met about, like we said, 2022.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, I'm seeing you on the gram with Leg of My Life, Like Her Story. I'm like, yo, this is the dude I met in the studio that night. Now he's going crazy on the gram. So how did that happen?
So it took a couple months after that, after 11 p.m. I was just chilling, but then life started lifing. You know what I mean? I just really started going through some stuff, and I didn't really know how to convey it. But I started getting better at my penmanship in the midst of that. So, and at the same breath, I wanted to do another listening party. So I was like, let me drop some music so I can do another listening party. But in the same time, I'm really going through it, and I'm just conveying it as best I can in a fashionable way. But like, if you really sit and listen to like the songs, like there's really like, it's definitely deeper meanings behind it and all that cool stuff. But Leg of My Life is definitely a cool concept. I thought about the name before I came up with the song, and then I was in the studio with my man's Mel's here at this beat. He's like, yo, bro, this beat's so fire, bro. You gotta rap on it. And I was like, and I ended up writing Leg of My, well, not writing, but because I didn't write it, but like I came up with Leg of My Life. When I say I didn't write it, as in like I didn't physically write it before anybody thinks
that you've gotten it through.
I mean, I was just freestyling. But then I was like, yeah, this kind of, it's kind of hits. And then the difference between this time around and 11 p.m. is that I didn't really do too much like ad work. You know what I mean? So I posted it this time around, and I'm like, all right, let me just throw a little bit of money on the Instagram ad. And then mad people started flocking into it. And I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of is working. I need to shoot a video, I guess. So I shot a video for it, and then yeah, that song is really like a lot of people are knowing me for that song without even knowing that I'm a producer first and foremost, or knowing that I make beats. So like that song in particular is kind of like a game changer for me. It was like, would have thought me talking about promiscuous women would get me to this point, you know what I mean? And then after that, in the midst of that, I didn't even bring up, I was going through an alcohol cleanse. I'm not saying like I was alcoholic or anything of the sort, but I was going through an alcohol cleanse. So like, I felt like I was getting a lot of work done and, doing much better when I wasn't drinking. I was just chilling in the crib, just writing songs. I came up with a lot of great concepts after that. And those are the songs that we're hearing right now.
Fire. And we know we from New York City, aka the towns. So we know what a leg is. So why'd you make the song Leg of My Life and not Love of My Life?
Well, because,
and if you don't know what a leg is, we can explain it for you.
I feel like part of that song is about self-awareness. You know what I mean? Having that self-awareness that a lot of men don't like to admit that they like legs. You know what I mean? Like,
and a leg for out-of-towners, thotty, or
promiscuous woman, sexual deviant, however you want to.
Yeah, I take back the thotty, but
yeah. I mean, they intertwine, but it's like a lot of men do like them. I mean, like, yeah, she's been around, but like, she's a really good person, and maybe I shouldn't want to be with her, but something about her, you know what I mean? And so I was speaking from that perspective for other people, you know what I mean? Like, something about this girl, even though I shouldn't be interested in her for what she's done and who she's done it with, makes me want to keep her around. And I feel like it just brings that vulnerability that men don't really want to talk about because they're ashamed to talk about it. Sometimes it's cool to like a lot of our favorite rappers do it all the time.
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's in a sense like a woman empowerment song.
Yeah, I treat it as woman empowerment. Somebody told me that song was shameful too. I was like, damn, I thought I was empowering. You know what I mean? I've gotten love from actual prostitutes about the song. Like they, you know, they like the song. You know what I mean? So
I can see that. I can see why they like it though.
Yeah, like I didn't really badmouth anybody. Right. It was like, you know.
And aside from like what the actual, the song is very vibey though. So
yeah,
it's like
I've been inspired by if I could go through like Tricky Stewart, Dream, Tim and Bob, Scott Storch, who am I missing? Old Timberland, you know what I mean? Those were the guys that have been currently inspiring. Donnell Jones, they've been inspiring like the vibe that
all the toxic niggas.
Yeah, you mean?
I feel that. So and you also just dropped a video in a new song for Bbygirl, It's Your World.
Yeah.
So that's your latest job, right?
Yeah, that's a Lucy though. I just wanted to get that one out there.
Okay, so it's a Lucy. So that must mean you have like a body of work maybe on the way?
Yeah, it's called Thank You For Coming.
Thank you for coming.
It's called Thank You For Coming. I don't have a release date yet, but it's definitely a really, really good body of work that I'm proud of. Entirely produced by me, entirely written by me. Some surprise features on there. I got my friends on there, and yeah, I definitely think that it definitely solidified myself as, you know, singer, songwriter, producer. And then I also have a shock drop coming. It's just, you know what I mean? It's me remixing a whole bunch of songs like that I didn't produce, but I'll drop that any minute now.
So any day now, just be looking out for the shock drop. Be letting y'all know right now. That's a
project.
Diamond Cut exclusive.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the way, though.
All right, thank you for coming on the way. All right, bet, bro. So we're not gonna take up too much time. You know, we got the interview wrapped up today. So before we cut it off, let the people know where they can find you and where they can tap into your music.
You can find me on Instagram, 2300.wave, 2300.wav. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, and what's the other one?
Facebook?
No, not Facebook. Twitter, TikTok. Yeah, Twitter and TikTok. 2-3-TWOTHREESKI. And yeah, you can look me up on Apple Music, Spotify, all the platforms. 2300, you should be able to find me. And yeah, be on the lookout for Thank You For Coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. You heard it here first. I'm actually excited for Thank You For Coming. Your latest drops.
Definitely want to play.
All been fire. Yeah, play for us. Maybe we'll give you guys like a sneak peek before the interview of a song or something. Nothing guaranteed.
Yeah.
But yo, we're signing out. Tee Becoate, another Diamond Cut interview.
Thank you for having me.